Bismillahirrahmanirrahim.
Brother Fahim Faisal has asked the question that he does not want to be vaccinated. He has faith in Allah and His Messenger. So because he's not vaccinated, he cannot travel. And the restriction put by government, isn't it illegal? Why should they put restrictions if I don't want to be vaccinated? There are many people on the street who are not vaccinated and coronavirus is not affected. He has faith in Allah. He has not been affected by coronavirus and he will not be affected, inshallah, I say. So he wants me to give an opinion. Before I give the reply to this, let us understand that should a Muslim take the Covid-19 vaccine or not? Let's discuss that. And we know that Covid-19 is a new virus that came into existence hardly 2 years back, towards the end of 2019, and now we are towards the end of 2021. So approximately 2 years ago, it came into existence, and in March 2020, about 1 year, 9 months before, we found that many countries started having lockdowns, started having restrictions, and by March, April 2020, most of the countries had partial lockdown, total lockdown, and we know after that. And after that, there were many medical doctors who tried to find a cure. And normally vaccine does take 3 to 5 years for it to be produced. But because of the severity of this COVID-19, which I've given the answers, I've given the explanation in my previous answers, many of the scientists had to try and find out a solution fast because many were dying. So they came up with this vaccine, and though WHO knows that 100% testing of safety wasn't done, so people were reluctant, some were reluctant, some said no problem, and there were various views of different people. And there were many people who started saying that this coronavirus is a conspiracy theory. It's a conspiracy. So this is called a conspiracy. And many people gave the pros and cons. And in this frenzy last year, many of the Muslims started supporting the conspiracy theory and saying, oh, coronavirus, you should not take vaccine, it is trying to enslave us. On the other hand, you had certain Muslim guys who said, oh, it is not a theory, we should take the vaccine, and people took sides. I, being a Dai, also a medical doctor, I read many articles that time in the year 2020, in the start and towards the mid, and yet it wasn't crystal clear, black or white. But as time went on, so therefore a person should not just take sides without doing proper research. And some of the Muslim Dais unfortunately took this side or sometimes left, sometimes right, supported the theory of the conspiracy, theory of the coronavirus. Some said, no, you should take it, blah, 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 it's a fard. Anyway, I gave my answer in the start of this year, that's in the 2021. And I said that no one can say that taking coronavirus vaccine is a fard. There's no evidence for it. Neither someone can say that taking coronavirus is haram. Yes, there were conspiracies saying, oh, it contains pork elements, etc. All this is nonsense. But seeing that after reading the articles of various scientists, etc., I came to the conclusion that there is more good in it, taking the vaccine, than harm. And I gave my opinion that taking the vaccine is mustahab, and Muslims should take it. I can't force someone and say it is fard, but my view was that it is mustahab and people should take it. I gave several months ago, I gave this view of mine when people were asking. And after I gave this view that, according to me, a person should. Why? Because Quran says, "Fas'alu ahla dhikri in kuntum la ta'lamun." If you don't know, ask expert. We know that we had many documentaries and videos of experts saying that, it's a big hoax, it's not true. And most of these conspiracy video, when we go and find out, these people are fake. Most of them. Either they're frauds, either they had some record of, they were in the police record somewhere in USA and other parts of the world. Most of them were fraud. Most of them were not medical doctors. That's namesake. However, there were few genuine doctors who did say that you should not take vaccine, and it because few. But the majority, the masses of the doctors, they say you should take. So when you see the pros and cons in the conspiracy theory, majority were fake. There were some doctors who were genuine, who gave the opinion, but they may have made a mistake. But the majority of the opinion of World Health Organization, of doctors of different countries, in the country like Malaysia had their own research, they had doctors, they had the medical team. Malaysia is not a fool to follow WHO death like that blindly. They did their own research. And they had their own recommendation. They agreed with certain things of WHO, most of it, but not all. So when research was done throughout the world, we realized, yet we do not know how did this emerge. Whether the emergence of the coronavirus was planted or it came naturally, Allah Alam. But it is there today. The virus is there, it has become a pandemic, it has taken millions of lives. People start saying, oh, it is just fake, he's dying of some other disease and they're blaming it on coronavirus. All this is nonsense. So today it is there. And umpteen number of research have said that if you take the vaccine, different vaccines, different brands have got different efficacy. I'm not going to the details, but practically it has shown that those people who have taken the vaccine, for them to get this disease is less chances as compared to those who have not taken the vaccine. Even if the coronavirus affects you, a person who has taken the vaccine has less chances of fatality than a person who has not taken the vaccine. So what view I gave several months ago, I stick to it, and it has been more established. According to me, it is preferable that Muslims should take, all human beings should take, including Muslims, and should not get carried away by this conspiracy. I do know, being a medical doctor, that the pharmaceutical field, the pharmaceutical is a very big economy, the pharmaceutical companies. And I do know that they do play around to make a profit. I'm not telling that because of coronavirus, pharmaceutical companies are not making money. They may be making money. But the fact is that taking the vaccine benefits a human being. Whether it benefits the pharmaceutical company or not, that is secondary. It may be. So it may be a mixture of some conspiracy with the reality. But now the virus is there. It is taking lives. And it may have been engineered by some people, Allah, but today the fact it is there. So today the fact is there, and the doctors say we should take, the majority of the doctors. So I feel Islamically it is better to take the vaccine. The first dose, the second dose, now the booster dose has come. Whatever the medical authorities of your country says, they are not fools just to follow anyone blindly. You follow the guidelines, and according to me, it is preferable a Muslim should take. He should not take the first dose, he should also take the second dose. He should be fully vaccinated, and if required, when the medical authorities in your country say, take the booster, even take the booster dose. Now coming to the question of the brother, that he does not want to be vaccinated. He has faith in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His messenger. So do you think that I don't have faith in Allah and His messenger? What does Allah say? Ask the person who is an expert. Did you ask the person who is an expert? Are you an expert? So you don't fool yourself by saying, if you don't take the vaccine, you have no faith in Allah. I have full faith in Allah. That is the reason I took the vaccine. If I had no faith in Allah, I wouldn't have taken it. Allah says, ask the person who is an expert. If you are sick, Allah says, go to a doctor. You cannot say that our beloved Prophet said, trust in God. A Prophet said, tie a camel and then trust in God. When a person asked the Prophet, I have a camel, should I leave it, let it go and then trust in God, or tie it and then trust in God? The Prophet said, tie your camel and trust in God. So, of course, huwa shafi, Allah who cures. But Allah says, go to a doctor. Similarly, we know that no virus can touch you without the permission of Allah. But when the expert says take a vaccine, you have to take a vaccine. So I am a more practicing Muslim by taking a vaccine than you. And I have faith in Allah. So this is a wrong philosophy of some Muslims that, oh, you don't have faith in Allah, therefore taking a vaccine. No. I'm taking a vaccine because I have faith in Allah. And if Allah protects you, none can harm you. And if Allah forsakes you, then none can protect you. Now coming to your question. You said you have faith in Allah and Messenger. Didn't the Prophet said that when there is a plague, you should not leave your city? And a person from outside should not enter. So why do you want to travel? If you want to follow the Prophet. The plague is there, you should not travel. Why you want to travel? See, now you're caught. You are giving the example of the people in the street. Many people are not affected. So why will you be affected? Okay, people in the street don't travel. They don't travel to another country. So you also go on. If you think that way, you also stay. Who's stopping you? How can you object? And the point to be noted is that these people who say that if you are not vaccinated, you cannot travel, because if you are not vaccinated, besides you getting the coronavirus, you can even be a carrier. And if you are a carrier, you will be endangering others. That's the reason the Prophet said that during plague, you should not leave your place and others from outside should not come in. And that we did for a particular time. That's the lockdown. That's what the Prophet said. But now when the doctor says that if you can take the vaccine, you can travel, you can travel. If you don't want to take the vaccine, don't travel. You cannot say, don't want to take the vaccine and then I will travel. That means you want to endanger other people's lives. That is un-Islamic. So if you don't want to take the vaccine, no one is forcing you. But you cannot say that I will not take the vaccine and I will travel. Means if you are going in the plane traveling somewhere else, all the others are vaccinated, you are not vaccinated, you will, high chances you will carry the germs and you will vaccinate and you will infect others. How selfish are you? If you are afraid of taking the vaccine, okay, stay at home. So you can't have the cake and eat the cake. And this is going to be everywhere. There are restrictions. Okay, you can't go into the mall if you're not vaccinated. And I mean, there was one person amongst my staff here in Malaysia who was a practicing Muslim, mashallah, but he was influenced with this, not to take vaccine. He didn't take vaccine. Anyway, I didn't force him. I didn't tell him that if you don't take vaccine, you cannot come to work. He came. I told him, yes, because he respected me. He said, okay, I'll take towards the ending. But I knew that he was influenced by these people. He didn't take. And what happened? Lately, he was infected by coronavirus. He did not come. He was in hospital for more than a month. For 2 months he didn't come to work. He said that he nearly tasted death. That's what happened. And now he wants to take. but because he's infected, he cannot take for the next few months. That's all, because once you're infected, then you get antibodies. So what you have to realize that you cannot be foolish. And then you think you're more Islamic. Do you think all the others are fools? There are so many scholars who said you should take, and now you're coming. There are very few people who say you should not take. But no one can force you to take, yes. But if you don't want to take, and then you want to say that people who are restricting us from traveling, they're illegal. How are they illegal? They are giving you the vaccine free. They're not charging you also. Most parts of the world, almost, it's free. They want to save your life. And then you don't take the vaccine, and then you want to say that they're preventing me from traveling. It is foolish. You want to infect other people. And some people, they don't take themselves. They don't allow their wife to take. They don't allow their family to take. They're endangering the full family. This is nonsense. Now it is very highly established that taking the vaccine is beneficial. There may be certain side effects. There are certain drawbacks. But looking at the pros and cons, the benefit is much more than the loss. That is the reason I said that a Muslim should take. And now it is established. Yes, you may try and find out a better brand. Which brand is better? Pfizer is supposed to be better than the other. Whatever it is, you can do your research. But take vaccine, please. Don't be foolish. And you're being foolish. You're endangering yourself. You're endangering your family. And then saying you're Islamic on top of that. It's un-Islamic to endanger your family. And there are umpteen number of evidences now. Yes, I may disagree with the way they are going around. I may disagree with certain things. I don't agree with everything what they say. In the malls, they go openly. In the mosque, they say you keep a distance. I disagree with that. In the mall, when you go to buy, there's no distancing. When you go to pray, you want to keep a distance of, first is for 2 meters, then it became 1 meter, now it became half meter. But why? So I'm not agreeing with everything what they say. But as far as the vaccine is concerned, there are pros and cons. There is benefit and loss also. But the benefit is more than the loss. That is the reason I advise that the Muslims should practice.